Hey, what up? It's your boy Aaron Sands, and before we get started, I just want to do a quick in memory of today. We lost a comedic giant, Paul Mooney. I believe he was 76 years old. For those who don't know, he wrote for Richard Pryor for certain parts. He also was in the Chappelle Show, and he also did a little bit of stand up of his own. One of the things I will say though is, especially like in a world that you gotta watch what you say. You know what I'm saying? He was always the one to really give like a real nigga reality check. You know what I'm saying? So, this episode right here, episode 7, dedicated to Paul Mooney. You already know. Rest in peace, bro. Let's start the show. Hey, what up? This is Aaron Sands, and this is King Talk. Let's get smarter. King Talk, yeah, that's me. What up? It's your boy Aaron Sands, and we are back with another episode of King Talk. It's episode 7. You already know what it is. And yeah, we got a lot to get into. A lot has happened in these past couple weeks. But first off, you already know what I asked. How y'all doing? Hopefully y'all week's been well, your weekend has been great. And if your week hasn't been great, hopefully we can make it better with this pod real quick. You can enjoy it with your day. You know what I'm saying? So y'all see the topic. You already know what we're going to get into. We get into the Joe Budden Podcast situation. Boys broke up. A lot of drama going on. Also, there's a lot of sexual allegations going on with Joe Budden. You already know what's going on with that. But we're going to touch on that in a little bit. But first off, you already know. I got to give a special shout out and a special thanks to each and every one of you who's been checking out my podcast. As you already know, we hit over, 1,400 views overall for the podcast. Our last episode hit over like 500 views alone. And honestly, I owe that to nobody but you guys, honestly. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't even be doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, if I would have just did 10 views, you know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy, I would have been all right, because I would have been 10 more people than I would have thought listened to it. But 500 though? That's a big bag, you know what I'm saying? That's a big situation, you know what I'm saying? So honestly, I couldn't be more proud, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely do appreciate and love the fact that a lot of people are tuning in and checking me out on a bi-weekly basis. I wish I could do this weekly, but scheduling and all, it's tough. You try to live life and then do the pod situation all at the same time. It's tough, but hopefully I could bear with me with this too. Every other week schedule, as I've been looking at, yeah, I definitely have, and I definitely appreciate that. Shout out to South Africa too, because besides America, South Africa has been really checking us out. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all on that. Definitely appreciate and love y'all for watching and listening. You know what I'm saying? So that's my gratitude, for this little situation. I usually get a little more, cocky about stuff like this, especially when I didn't think I was going to really do too good in it. But this one's a little different. I'm a little bit more humble here than anything. So I can definitely appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. Before we get into all of that, situation with the Joe Budden Podcast, I told y'all I was going to lead off with this one off top last week. I told y'all, J. Cole album coming out. Came out last week. I told y'all to listen to it. Let me know what y'all think. A lot of people told me, listen, this is probably the best album of the year thus far. I ain't going to hold you. I kind of agree. You know what I'm saying? And the thing was, like, from what I heard from his last couple of releases and the songs that he put out over the course of time, the bar for me was already high when it came down to him putting out a new album and seeing how that would work. So for me, the bar was already like extra high for that. Cause I'm like, all right, he's been putting out bangers since people were buying CDs. So, this gotta fit the narrative. And boy, did it. First of all, from the top, and Ken gets annoyed at me for doing this. My executive producer, man, he be out here telling me like, yo, really? they put Cam on the intro. I'm like, yes, bro. They definitely put Cam on that intro. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, Cameron, man, he's like one of my top 10, top 15 favorite rappers of all time. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely up there because he put on for Harlem Heavy. So it's one of my top 10 to 15, you know, top rappers of all time. Purple Haze, one of my favorite, if not my favorite album. I can't even really skip that too hard. You know what I'm saying? There's not a song on there that I didn't like, honestly. And for the most part, what I will say, the off season is kind of right up there, though. I will say that because I'm trying to think, right? I know I skipped like maybe one song. And even then, I went and heard the album back again. And, you know, I couldn't even deny it, like, yo, that shit was fire. My favorite tracks on there, you already know, 9-5 South. You know what I'm saying? Hard Carolina background there. Also, if y'all ain't catch that Jay-Z flip, I forgot the Dynasty flip. I don't know what to tell y'all. I gotta get your ears checked. That was a dope little situation. So you had that, 95 South, Applying Pressure, Hunger on Hillside. Those are my 3 top songs on that album as a whole. Straight fire. I know he had some stuff with 21 Savage on there too, which was also good as well. You know, I had to definitely take that. The Baby was on there. That was fire too. He had like a little bit. I didn't realize he was up there. But yeah, I would give that a strong 4 out of 5 because there's no way people can tell me, oh, I listened to the J. Cole album and I wasn't really a fan and I missed that mumble rap, bro. That's like, I ain't gonna hold you. That's right now. I'm here for all of it. You know what I'm saying? Man, so he'll put it like, come on, man. It's crazy. Whole shit, crushing up my little situation. You know, you already know after this, I'm filming right now. It's gonna be released on Wednesday, on Friday. But I usually film during the middle of the week. So I'm crushing up, you know. By the way, split for the evening, you know, Platinum Kush, you already know the vibe. Get me nice and a little excited for the night, you know, nice little laid back type vibe. But the yield on this shit is like trash. I swear on everything. I put a big ass nugget in here, thinking it was gonna be something. And I open it up, I'm like, oh, I'm about to fuck it up. It's gonna be lit. I look at this yield, I'm like, nah, bro. And my girl told me, like, yo, this yield is like a little shaky, you know, I don't like the yield. And I was like, yeah, maybe it might not be a lot, but I'm like, well, maybe if I put this big ass nugget in here, it would be lit. Boy, was I wrong. I'm like, man, listen. But it does do the job, I will say. I must say. This morning, I smoked something this morning on the way to work. And listen, I will say I was kind of on one coming out of Grand Central. And I was like, what am I going to do with that? I'm like, what am I going to do with that? But, you know, it's a little situation, but that's what happens when we go off the script here. You know what I'm saying? We build the plane while flying. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. So we got that going on. Also, what else is going on? You already know what we're going to talk about. Every week we talk about it. Every episode we talk about it because it's a big thing happening. You know we got to get into this COVID watch, bro. And this is a different type of COVID watch, you know what I'm saying? Because as of, if you're in the New York City area or if you're in the Connecticut area, today was the day, you know what I'm saying? Today was the day, May 19th. You can go mask off outside if you're fully vaccinated. Now, granted, you know, I might have had my little views about the whole vaccination process or whatever like that. You know, I'm actually planning to go get vaccinated or whatever this coming up week, you know, mainly for work purposes. I wouldn't just do it, you know, for just to do, oh, it's going to be fun. I'm going to go get vaccinated. Like, who plans for that, really? But, you know, for work purposes, for the bag, yeah, you know, we got to do it. Plus, I want to make sure the people around me safe. I got asthma, you know what I'm saying? It's real for me. So that's one thing. But They said if you're fully vaccinated, you could take the motherfucking mask off and live your life, unless if you're going to like the, in crowded spaces, or if you're on a train or anything like that, then you got to put that motherfucking mask back on. But after that, though, yeah, take your shit off, bro. Like I said before in the last episode, and actually in the past couple episodes, I know people trying to be safe and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I'm all for safety first, you know what I'm saying? Wear your goggles and shit, you feel me? Wear your gloves. But there's a big blue world out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, join us, you feel me? It's lit out here, trust me. This summer gonna be lit. You already know. End of the month, all those indoor eating restrictions and all of that, whole curfews and situations, that's gonna be out the window, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, when it comes down to it, it's like I'm seeing all of these restrictions being lifted and all of these things opening back up. And dare I say, could it be a return for them Premier Boys? Could it be a return for those YPG corner bar boys, bottle boys? I don't know. I guess you gotta check me out on my Aaron Sands Premier Instagram to check that out. That's Aaron Sands Premier, AARONSANDS PREMIERE. Check me out on that. We might got a flyer coming up. We might not. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But with all of these things opening back up and everything attempting to get back to some form of normal, we just might. But that remains to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I'm just glad that we're able to get back we're able to take another step to get back to normal. And that's always good. So here's that COVID watch for you real quick. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, one last thing before we get out of here for the next break and everything, before we get into the mid-song, before we get into the side B topic. So I'm on Facebook today, minding my business, just chilling. And I see an article about Derek Lewis. For those who don't know, Derek Lewis is an MMA fighter, UFC heavyweight champ. Is a bad motherfucker, in short, in so many words, right? I believe his record was like 19-0 with 18 knockouts. So basically, this is the type of dude. This is a big dude too. This is the type of dude you do not want to run into in alley. So tell me why, right? I'm reading an article about someone trying to carjack him. Someone trying to steal his car, and I'm like, yo, you gotta be your luck gotta be some type of different for you to try to get a car. You think you're trying to come up on a lick or whatever, and then you find out that's that man's car you're trying to pull up on. The dude who knocked out like 19 motherfuckers before you came across him. So they get into it, and you might as well add 20 on that list because he knocked that dude out too, straight cold. And when I mean you put him to sleep, I mean sleep. Like, what? Yeah, sleep, bro. It was kind of crazy. I just feel like when you see stuff like that, it's like, yo, your luck gotta be super trash to sit there and not only come across a dude of that caliber while you're carjacking him, but then he proceeds to beat the fucking brakes off your ass. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. Like if I was doing Donkey of the Day, that he would definitely get that shit. Because there's no way that could just go down, and you know what I'm saying? And shit could go, and then your whole shit could go left. And he still got locked up. You know what I'm saying? So you took 2 L's. First of all, you carjacked the wrong motherfucker. And then you end up taking the L for that by going to jail. So yeah. Sad state of affairs, but it is what it is. You might have thought I was going to talk, and I ain't going to hold you. A lot of people thought I was going to get into the subject of those guys in Brooklyn who ended up getting that COVID unemployment situation up to 2 mil, and then posted it on Facebook. But nah, I'm not going to do that. Stupidity is always going to reign supreme. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Stupidity is always going to reign supreme, no matter what. And honestly, that dude who got knocked the fuck out and them dudes who was scamming out in Brooklyn, they both deserve everything. Because you don't get on the gram and start, you start flashing money that's honestly not even yours. You know what I'm saying? Like that's young nigga mistakes. We gotta grow up to be better kings than that shit, because I don't know what the fuck that was about. So with that being said, coming up next, you know why we here. We're gonna get into that Joe Budden issue. It's the podcast. Rory and Mal ain't having it. People ain't reading contracts. People don't like being talked shit about either. Also, we're gonna get into another personal story of loyalty, because honestly, loyalty kind of ties this whole thing together as well. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be loyal to your friends. You can't lie to them, because that's how you go MIA. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get excommunicated. So we'll get into all that and more. Check out this next song. You already know the vibes. King Talk with Aaron Sands. Side B up next. Let's go. Hey, what up? It's your boy Aaron Sands, and I know you're enjoying this episode of King Talk right now, but I want to dive in a little bit and talk about the Premier Boys Podcast. You got me, Aaron Sands, Ken the Gentleman, the homie Roddy Rod, and long live the Chief Mally Mal, all in the building, talking about the hottest entertainment topics, the hottest news topics, and giving our own take on what's going on out here in these streets. It can get raunchy. It could get crazy. You might even be talking about somebody's mama. Who knows? But every Wednesday at midnight, check us out on Apple, Good Pods. Don't forget to drop that 5-star rating, and all wherever else you hear your podcast. Now back to the show, man.
What's up, world? This is the Chief Mally Mal, long live the Chief, and you're tuned in to King Talk with Mr. Aaron Sands. Don't go nowhere, baby.
You already know what it is. We back at it. Mask on, mask off. You already know the vibes. King Talk, Aaron Sands. We back at it with Side B. Topic of the day. You already know. If you've been following, the whole situation, or if you've just been in the podcast, this one might relate to you a lot. Here's why. As you may know, Rory and Mal, Joe Budden Podcast, got fired yet again by Joe Budden on live podcast. Honestly, I feel like they got fired more times than JR did in WWE. I ain't gonna hold you. I just wanted to get that out there, because I'm like, bro, first of all, they left the first time, right? Dealing with, a little bit of an absence. They try to get some new people up on there. Basically a bunch of yes people type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's weirdo type shit. Then they came back for a few episodes. You know what I'm saying? Everything was lit. Then all of a sudden, I'm at work. I get a video sent to me talking about how Roy's fired. And Mal left. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? So basically, when I'm listening to the episode, this is what I got from it. Apparently, the money was fucking up. You know what I'm saying? On Joel's side, he's talking about, if you're going to audit me or whatever, you're going to, accuse me of stealing from you, then yeah, you don't need to be here. Y'all fired. Y'all not welcome back here. We're going to break this down piece by piece. First off, shit like that, you can't just sit there and fire your friends and stuff like that on live. You could have did that shit in a text, and I would have respected that more. You know what I'm saying? You could have sat there and pulled them boys to the side and been like, yo, listen, I feel a way that this is going on. We might need to take a different route. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I feel like that's not the best type of situation to go about, when it comes down to it. Because even though, like, if y'all were just employees and y'all were getting fired on air, that's one thing. These are supposed to be your bros. You know what I'm saying? y'all supposed to be riding out or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? And for them to get fired like that on the pod, it's kind of trash to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just dogging them, defaming their character, defamating on their character, you know, like defecating on their character on top of that. It's two different shits, bro. It's crazy. But a lot of that I seen from what I see from that is just like, so basically, if you're calling me a thief, then you fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got from that part. Mind you, you're supposed to be your bros. You know, I kind of relate to this type of situation when it came down to Roddy leaving the Amiri podcast. You know what I'm saying? If you were going to sit there and leave, granted, you know, leave, but don't sit there and do that shit during the season finale. You know what I'm saying? We still debating if there's ever going to be a season 2 out this bitch. Hopefully it will be, you know? Also, shameless plug, check out the road to season 2. You know what I'm saying? Different interviews that we done, you know, when it came down to the Amiri podcast. Check that out as well. Shameless plug. Let's get back into it. So basically, you know, you fire these guys on air. Everybody's like, oh yeah, it's lit. And I'm like, dude, no, it's not, bro. These supposed to be your bros. Like, if you start a podcast with your friends, and then the money come in and the shit look lit, you shouldn't be switching up because you got getting deals. You know what I'm saying? That looks kind of crazy to me. But I digress. So later on, we see Mal and Roy actually responding back to everything that went on the podcast, because they got fired on air. They wasn't even at the spot. You know what I'm saying? So that was a whole situation in itself. And first off, the fact that I heard people had to pay $2 to get that, while I could have caught it on YouTube on free, is asinine to me. I'm not paying $2 for no response. Nobody ain't paid $2 when Drake dropped back to back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to pay $2 for no response. I'm going to wait till that shit come out on YouTube, and then we're going to check it out from there. Just for starters. You know what I'm saying? But all right, cool. They get on the mic. They respond. Now, the funny part about this response that I get, which one of the funniest things, was that they did it in Charlamagne's studio where they shoot Brilliant Idiots. You know what I'm saying? I knew that set looked kind of familiar, and just because they put that little blue hue in the background of it, I knew what it was. That's a Charlamagne set. Come on, man. And which is crazy because Joe Budden and Charlamagne had issues prior to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and he actually predicted that the podcast would fail after like a couple of years. And look where we at now. Shit is crazy. But we'll get into the reasoning for that in a minute. So basically, they state about how, you know, it wasn't just about, you know, the money and everything. They basically asked for, you know, the accounting. You know, they wanted to make sure the accounting was right. Wanted to make sure the money was looking great, looking accurate. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, at one hand, Joe's saying like, oh, they're employees. They thought they were partners, but they're employees. And I'm like, bro, y'all got to get that shit straightened out first. You know what I'm saying? Granted, it's Joe Budden Podcast, but you're portraying this like they're partners, but they're not partners. But according to them, they had a percentage partnership, which basically means whatever money that comes into that the net gains that come from that podcast, basically they get a percentage of whatever comes out. You know what I'm saying? So you're not paying them like you're on a salary or anything like that. You know, they're getting some shit off the top. So apparently when a Spotify deal dropped, you know, they started asking for the books. They're asking like, listen, you know, the numbers are a little different. The show numbers are a little different. Why are we seeing the same amount of money from a New York show that we're seeing from a Pennsylvania show? Shit's getting a little shaky. They ask for the books. They say Joe started whining. Like, yo, listen, don't ask me for no fucking books. I feel like you're trying to steal from me. It's kind of like how the 5 Heartbeats went when Flash tried to ask Big Red for those numbers, and Big Red was like, my office hours are from 9 to 5. And Flash tried to be big and bold and shit, talk about fuck your office hours, motherfucker. And Big Red, he wasn't having none of that. So long story short, he ended up getting hung out of a fucking window. You know what I'm saying? If you ever seen the 5 Heartbeats real quick, just check that out when you got some free time. It's the funniest scene in the whole movie because you would never think, that perm wearing motherfucker was on that type of time. But listen, it's cost of doing business. So not only that happened when Joe was talking on the podcast, he was just trashing them, defaming, like I said before, trashing them, defaming their character. And I'm like, listen, not only you're not showing me the books, but then you're also gonna like talk down on me too when I had your back before this podcast shit. Like, come on, like I ain't gonna hold you. If we doing it, like you already know Premier Boy Podcast, and, everything going on with that. If I get voted off the Premier Boys Podcast, right, and then Ken talk shit about me on the next episode, not only I'm not coming back, we gotta shoot the 5 in the middle of the street. That's it. You gotta get in. We gotta get on in the middle of the street. And even then, I'm still might not even forgive you that heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too much disrespect. You know what I'm saying? It's like Miles had a quote in that. He had a quote that kind of stuck out to me in that particular, in that particular response. He said, "When the respect is gone, I'm gone." And honestly, I definitely agree with that. Because you can't sit there and get disrespected at that magnitude and try to talk down on him like, he was just some bum following you or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? And then get back on the pod like everything is all sweet or whatever. That's, it's too much disrespect to come back and be like, oh, everything's fine. And it's not, So I can see them not coming back. And, side note, I found out today while I was scrolling down Instagram and everything was sweet, they're coming out with their own podcast called New Warrior Mail. I like that opener. But yeah, they're coming out with their own stuff. I don't know when it's going to get released, but I heard it's supposed to be lit. So I might just check it out. I'll give y'all a review on that when that happens. But yeah, when the respect is gone, then you gone. That goes honestly with anything. With business, friendships, relationships. Once that lack of respect is out of there, it's only a matter of time, bro, before people say fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And apparently Rory Mal said fuck it. We're not doing this shit. So it's a tough loss to lose, your bros like that. And now you up there with some yes men trying to figure it out. So Joe had a response today that came out, and I'm at work chilling, trying to figure it out. And I'm like, let me play this real quick. So I play it. He apologizes about, about how things went down, but his apology is what kind of got me, because he wasn't like apologizing like he was, fucked up about it. He apologized like how cheaters apologize to their girl, like, oh, I'm sorry that you didn't know that I was like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry that you didn't know the accounting, or I'm sorry that, that you didn't know that you were an employee and not a partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't sit there and, first of all, you can't sit there and lead people on and thinking that you're set up one way and then move it in another. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're doing business. Because it's a different one thing when you're just like you think you're a part of something in a major way, and come to find out they're treating you just like an employee where you got to clock in and clock out and get admonished when you're late. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like he did it in like a wild narcissistic way, and a lot of people don't understand. This dude was a rapper for all of this. You know what I'm saying? He was a rapper for all of this, so he's good with wordplay. So you could play the semantics and everything like that. You could play semantics with people and do word salad that would, that if you didn't catch on, would take you on a little loop. So I just feel like you're in your lack of an apology, right? You're kind of making more enemies than friends. You know what I'm saying? Especially at a time where you need friends, because apparently now another co-star of your podcast network, Olivia Dope, is accusing you of sexual harassment during the podcast, and they got you on tape talking about, oh, I want to smash, you look so good, I kind of want to fuck. You know what I'm saying? You go to hug her, and then you gyrating your hips. I'm like, dude, any lady would have quit behind that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because especially right now, where you got a whole Me Too movement going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have all of that going on right now. Honestly, you would need some people to be character fucking witnesses to stand up for your shit. You know what I'm saying? And for that to happen, and for you to lose your two best people to do that with, that aren't yes men, that will tell you like it is, that will, not sit there and coddle your ego or whatever. It sucks. It sucks to not have that at this type of time. When you're dealing with sexual harassment cases during the Me Too situation. In short, I really hope, everything works out. Rory and Mal got their own podcast. That's going to be dope. Looking forward to hearing it. I'll let y'all know what I think about it when it comes down. Joe Budden got Ice and Ish on there. I'm not really too fond of them, but that I'll see what type of work they'll do as time progresses. But all of this kind of reminds me of a story, right? This is the part where we get a little personal. So I have a lot of friends, right? But I also have a lot of acquaintances. And there's certain people I keep real close to me, and there's certain people that I keep at arm's length. And I feel like when you start doing things to people, when you start doing things to your own friends, you start lying to your own friends about bullshit, that's where the loyalty gets kind of questioned for me. I currently have a friend like that right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little shaky. When you lying like that to your own people, I always tell people, you never have to lie to kick it. You know what I'm saying? You never have to sit there and say you do one thing and then you move in a completely different way just to kick it. You know what I'm saying? It never has to go down that way. But I always tell people, when people move a certain way, you got to check their loyalty too. Because if they willing to do that for a small little price, what are they willing to do for freedom? You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to look at things certain different ways. You got to kind of look at certain things with a bit of a microscope. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't do that, and they end up falling into situations where they shouldn't have to. But I feel personally, you gotta look at all your friendships in a microscope. And if you feel like you're seeing something that's not suiting your situation or benefiting you in the best way, sometimes you gotta push those people back into the acquaintance zone. Everybody can be an acquaintance, but not everybody can be a friend. And you can't always take everybody with you in your travels. You know what I'm saying? That's King Talk Gym. You might want to hold on to that. But yeah, in short, so I promise to make this episode a little short and sweet because we got some heat coming up. You can't take everybody with you. You know what I'm saying? Your travel. And in this journey called life, you can't bring everybody with you. You can't, drag everybody along with you. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody's meant to go on your road. Sometimes they got to take their own road. Whether it's business, personal, or relationships. Either way. You can't take everybody with you. So wish everybody the best in their future endeavors. Hopefully they, get to do their thing. Hopefully he makes great numbers. Hopefully Joe makes good numbers. Hopefully Roy and Mal makes good numbers. And hopefully we continue to make our good numbers. 500 fucking views. Ain't that some shit? Well, look, speaking of that, I gotta hit the road. I'm already touching the road. I'm in the Poconos tomorrow all weekend. And I'm in Vegas after that all weekend. So you guys are quite possibly not seeing an episode until June 4th. You know what I'm saying? We're going to start June off right. You already know the vibes. Catch me on my Instagram, Aaron Sands Premier. That's AARON SANDSPREMIERE. New episode Talk with Aaron Sands, June 4th. Check me out then. I might got a special guest. Also, keep in mind, we are only maybe 2 episodes away from the 2-part season finale. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to drop it off right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you, just for y'all blessing me with over damn near 1,500 views in like 6 episodes, I'm blessing you right now. Final guest of King Talk with Aaron Sands, season 1. You already know. I've been wanting to get this bro on the pod a long time. Came on his show. You heard the bonus episode. Me and Ken going back and forth talking our shit. Guess what? We having them here on King Talk. We ain't going down memory lane, bro. If you listening to this, we ain't going down memory lane. We talking about real shit. We gonna get into some real deep topics, bro. And I hope you ready, because I am. My viewers is. I hope you are. You already know what the vibe is. It's Aaron Sands. We up out of here. I'm in the Poconos swimming there, following my chick, nigga. You already know the vibe. We out here. Deuces. Check out this last song. Hopefully you enjoy, and hopefully you have a good weekend. You guys take it easy. 1.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman from Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast and the Premier Boy Podcast that you are now listening to. King Talk with Mr. Aaron Sands, the bro. Yeah!